and welcome back to our conversation with Natasa, which we actually continue from episode number 10, and this one became episode number 11. So please enjoy, and hopefully you are still with us and the conversation was interesting enough for you to tune in again. So please enjoy.
Like the whole health industry and well-being industry or the food industry wants to make you think that it's a very complicated thing. It's not. It's a very easy thing to understand, but it's a very complicated and difficult thing to implement. Exactly. Because we live in a times of complete abundance and convenience. But the reality is that there are no shortcuts. Because our bodies work exactly the same way. They are programmed exactly the same way as they were 200,000 years ago, you know? So we have the same buildup as a caveman in terms of DNA, you know? So we need nutrients to function. We need recovery to function. We need movement to function. We need the ability to balance out our hormones. Like back in the days where you were, you know, you say you were living in the caves, and it's not that they didn't have stress. I mean, if a saber-toothed tiger is attacking you, it's a hell of a lot of stress. But when they manage to kill it or manage to run away, they sat down, they lit a fire, and they released it. So Jim had a very interesting experience. He, a couple of years ago, he traveled to Tanzania to have an experience with the Hadza tribe. And the Hadza tribe is one of the few remaining tribes in the world who live in the nature, with the nature. Mm-hmm. And
I never heard about them.
The Hadzas,
the Hadzas.
Yeah, they're in the book. The story is in the book. Okay. So I'm going to give it to you.
I should.
You will read about them. And you know, they're hunter-gatherers. They hunt, and they hunt the animals that are there, and they eat tubers, they eat berries, they eat whatever is available in their environment, and they live in the nature. So Jim went and stayed with them for a couple of days, and he went hunting with them, and he can tell you the story.
That's so cool.
It's absolutely, yeah, it's an amazing experience. But what he was telling me exactly the same thing. They went for a hunt. And it was, they spotted the hyena, and the hyena went to hide somewhere. And, you know, like basically they got the hyena out of the hiding place, and they were screaming and shouting, and the dogs were barking, and the stress levels were like, you know, cortisol is spritzing out of your ears kind of stress level. Yeah. But when they got it, they killed it, and almost immediately they set up a fire, you know, and they had a meal. They did what they do with the hyena. I don't know the details, but what I'm saying is that high levels of stress was always balanced out with, you know, calming ritual, connection, trading stories, and then in the evening when they came back from the hunt, the whole tribe gathers around the fire, and they share stories, they sing songs, they connect. And so when you think about our societies, we never set a fire. I mean, metaphorically fire, you know, like you go home, you are alone, you are on your phone. Best case scenario, you talk to a partner if you have a partner.
If not, then social media. If you're a friend, then you're just going.
But even if you have a partner, like a lot of people just, you know, they watch TV.
Both of them sit on the sofa and they do the social media. They don't talk.
They don't talk with each other.
And that's actually current reality.
It is.
It's a sad one, but yeah.
It is. Yeah. You know, many times we go to a restaurant and I see couples who sit and they are both on the phones, you know, or kids on the phone. So you think about it, that the technology that's supposed to bring us together is actually separating us. So we are dividing us, and we are lonelier than we've ever been. And, you know, just for Jim to experience this was a big kind of aha moment, that we need that sense of community, and we need the balancing out. It's not about having too much stress, and it's about having too much stress all the time, so it becomes chronic stress. And so this is, you know, my story with my fertility or infertility, is that I had high levels of stress that I was able to deal with, you know, when I was 30-something. Mm-hmm. But it's a silent stress that kills you slowly inside, you know, that led to infertility for me. For other people, it leads to other chronic diseases. So it's a very sneaky thing, so to say.
The cells remember.
Sorry?
The cells.
The cells remember.
Remember.
Exactly. The cells remember.
That's such a shocking. I mean, I heard about it, like things, but how you described it's like a very, very good story explanation, and yeah, I think it's thought provoking. It is thought provoking for me, definitely. Yeah, that you look back and you would look at someone else, maybe in the similar shoes like yours, like.
Yeah.
We are, when you are in this big team effort and this big, perfect team cohesion of oh, wow, we're gonna create magic and something massive, and the whole thing drives everyone, and you are like a family. But probably daily, the level of stress you have to deal with, and the level, the pace and everything, is mad. It's mental, but because the passion pushes you, you don't really notice.
Yes.
And it doesn't mean that the stress level is different. I mean, the symptoms, what some people may have or some people won't have, it doesn't mean that the actual experienced stress is different. It may be exactly the same as you described as well, but maybe some people will just get on with it and just act like, okay, well, this is it. We are doing it, and maybe for some other people, the body will reflect in that moment or around the time or something, or for some people, maybe in your case, maybe later. Yeah, that's really interesting. I think many people actually probably go through a very similar thing without realizing and thinking and being very proud of themselves, because I guess you were also proud that wow, I can do this, and after year 1, year 2, year 3, like wow, and do more and do better, and then all the self-growth I have and what we create and everything. And after that you're like, wait a minute, that's so interesting.
What's happening?
Very cool. I mean, like the whole story is cool and fascinating. Wow. Okay, so I guess that was a very big thing for you to, as an inspiration, to write the book, and then shifting to this new era. Which is wellbeing. And also prioritizing your own and transforming your own life and understanding more, like, okay, where am I, who I am, what's the new reality, and then I guess helping others as well, especially with the book too.
And I'm in a particularly lucky situation that Jim is on a very similar journey. Of course, his story is very different, also very interesting, similar in a lot of sense, but of course he's a man, I'm a woman, like basic biological differences as well, but also, so we kind of, and we work really well together, and he adds that, the kind of the masculine part of it. He understands really how men function in a high stress job where you just, have to push through. I understand how women function. So we kind of, when we coach people, we basically coach our younger selves in a way, like you look back and say, oh, I wish somebody would have told this to me before. And we see that sometimes people are at the point where they think, okay, I'm 42, for example, and if I have to do this, for another 10 years, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, and I need something to change, but I don't know what, and then we take them through the journey, which is actually the Takeoff model, which is an acronym. Every letter stands for something. So T is turn off autopilot, A, acknowledge your stress, K is know your why, E, eat yourself healthy, O, overhaul your movement, F, fix your sleep, and the other F is fasten your seatbelt, which is referring to the fact that it's not a one and done thing. Like you go through a 7-week program, it will not change you. You go through a 3 months program, it will not change you. What it will do is start you on a journey of new habits or of self-awareness, better self-awareness of what are those habits that are helping you grow and be healthy and be better, and what are the habits that are actually destroying your health. Because I think one of the main misconceptions for people is that health is just an area of life, like finance, financial well-being, family, friends, health is another one. The reality is that if there's no health, there is nothing. So
the rest is non-existent.
it's non-existent. So if
I agree with you. Like they focus on everything else because it seemed to be more important, like the money, that I have a house, I have this, I have that, like material things and whatever. And yes, as you said, and another area, it's there, but I don't need to worry about it.
Or like if I'm not in the hospital, I'm healthy.
Oh yeah, that's a common thing. So I don't need to deal with it.
I don't have to deal with it.
I have nothing to do with it, so it's good. At least one thing less.
Yes,
that's on my list, or less stressful, or whatever.
Or like, I have headaches, but I guess it comes with the job.
Yeah.
Or my back is bad. Oh, whatever. Or I can't walk that long anymore. It's part of being a 43-year-old. Well, it's not. Jim can lift more weight than his sons can weigh. They are in their 20s, and he's stronger and he's more capable now physically at the age of 57 than he was when he was younger. So it's the health is the foundation of everything. And I think once you tie your health goals into your life goals, that's when the magic happens. So understanding that this is the foundation for everything, I think that's the most important thing. So you don't become healthy just for the sake of becoming healthy. It's to enable you to do other things.
I really like that. Thank you so much. So because the title of the podcast is the Confidence Club podcast, and usually it has an angle on mindset, self-growth, which you were talking about a lot, and thanks for that. An angle on confidence.
Yeah.
Because I'm a firm believer that confidence really comes with, you also referred to this, with practicing, and it's a skill you can develop. No babies were born to planet Earth with, I don't know what, confidence. So it's something we can work on, it's something we can be more self-aware about, and there are actually things which will help us to grow more confidence. So, what is your relationship with confidence? And if you want, you can even mention, eras or times from your life when you felt like you were maybe lacking confidence, so you were very aware of, I really want to work on this, or I need more, or maybe cases when you really felt in your element, like this is it, like I have arrived, or like you were proud of it or something.
Yeah. So that's very interesting because it will not surprise you. I approach everything from the perspective of health. And confidence for me is, so let me step back. So I think obviously confidence is super important, especially growing up, as a girl and being a woman in leadership in Eastern Europe.
Let's add a few more layers. It's already like,
So, confidence is an interesting topic in that context, but I don't want to go in depth in that. But I think you know what I'm talking about, that you really have to, you have to work really hard to prove yourselves.
Which every time I mention it to someone who is local in the UK, they just look at me. They don't,
well, good for them.
And then they have this concept of, oh, maybe this is your narrative that you have to work more to prove, and then we don't think you need to, or but well, nothing wrong to whoever nationality, whatever. But it's like sometimes I get the feeling that I question it, like, is it the truth, or is it I'm telling myself that you're a girl from Eastern Europe, you really need to, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, sometimes like, do I really? Is it true?
Yeah.
But as you say, one thing is 100% real. This is what we tell ourselves, it's in our mind.
Yeah.
And if we tell that to ourselves, then it's our truth.
Yeah.
And
well, so first of all, so a lot of this has to do where we grew up. Having said that, I have never seen as so many female leaders that I've seen in my time in Ukraine. So there were, a lot of companies have female CEOs or had female CEOs when I was
You mean in Ukraine?
In
you were
Ukraine.
a lot. Like
A lot,
in the
exactly.
top level roles,
yes,
female.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Now, the interesting thing there, and I think
That
it's
is
a different conversation as well, but once we touch it, I just want to finish this thought that,
Yeah.
so a lot of female CEOs, not in the airline industry. So actually, when I was going to the Civil Aviation Authority, getting all the permits and whatnot, the signatures for like gazillions of things needed to be done, and actually it was a very interesting experience. One of the heads of departments, which he was a gentleman in his, like, I would say late 50s, early 60s, like a veteran in aviation, and I needed his signature on something, and he was like, "Who are you again?" And I said, "Oh," I introduced myself again. I said, "I'm so-and-so, and I'm the general manager of Wizz Air Ukraine." And he looked at me, he said, "What interesting times. We have female leaders now in aviation." So
boom!
Yeah,
you were
so
like,
I completely I completely ignored it. I'm like, I'm so,
good times. Good times.
So there was very much industry specific. So that. And again, as you say, it's not necessarily that you need to be told all the time that you're not capable of this or you are only capable of that. It's just the whole environment, like a comment like this that I still remember, like, "Oh, am I not in the right place?" Kind of thing. But you kind of go kind of don't necessarily think about it at that time, but it kind of builds up. And also, how you grew up. Like, I'm thinking my sense of invincibility when I was 20 something or 30 something, did it come from confidence? Or did it come from a different place? Did it really come from self-belief or self-trust? And I came to the conclusion that my confidence back then, I really felt invincible and I really felt very capable, mostly reflected my endurance and my very deep desire to be accepted, to feel like I'm worth it, like that I can be appreciated, I can be acknowledged for what I do. So, it's like more of a competitiveness. And also because the aviation industry is still very male dominated. I mean, yeah, there are more female pilots, but it's still, very far off the balance.
Yeah.
So you are constantly with men and you constantly need to prove yourself that you're not just a pretty face. And I mean, I've been into situations where I was just basically,
They gave you the impression that you were just
yeah. So you have to work over time. So that's what I think of the confidence. So for me, that's a big part of it. The other thing that I find very interesting, that a lot of confidence program or confidence building programs, they're all about self-belief, positive thinking, positive perspective, self-trust, and they focus on the mindset only. But again, it will not surprise you when I say that if you don't have the emotional, mental, and physical capacity to face life or meet life without being in a constant, without armoring up, let's say, and in a constant flight or flight mode, you won't have confidence. You can't work up a confidence from a place of exhaustion or a place of deep stress, chronic stress, or a place of,
true.
So once you have that, again, physical, mental, emotional capacity to be in your own body, to be in your own self, to know who you are, then confidence emerges. So answering your question, what are the times when I feel confident? I think I generally felt confident, but again, was it confidence or was it the willingness to be accepted, the willingness to prove myself to somebody usually, like people pleasers, hello.
Yes. You wanted to paint that picture that others, it was more like how they see me.
Yeah.
Oh, all these crowds and all these people were around me. Yeah. Can't you see how confident and capable I am?
So
look at me.
I'm
worthy. Look at me.
I'm worthy of your love, of your acceptance. I'm worthy of being part of the club. you know?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
now
yeah.
I'm 52, I'm going through mega hormonal changes right now. Hello, perimenopause. And I don't give a shit. to put it very
Good,
frankly,
good.
you know, so
It's more about you, not about them.
yeah, it's not true 100% because I do care about people who lift me up. I have a very good my husband is like the biggest gift in my life, really. Like my family is I absolutely adore him. And I'm very grateful to have him because he's the one who actually liberated a lot of things in me and also like gave me wings basically. He was the first one who told me like, I'm not gonna tell you what to do and what not to do. You know, we're a team and you know, you just just you have wings, so fly, you know, like I'm not there to hold you back or I'm not. And he really supports me and you know, it's obviously a reciprocal relationship, so I do support him as well. But what I wanted to say is that I have people around me that really build my confidence, you know, now. And I'm brutal in that, like I will not have anyone close to me anymore who I feel is, you know, chipping away at my self-worth or self-belief or
I love that. High five for that. I think I arrived to this place as well. And I'm like, this is non-negotiable. Like it's no, you know, in Hungary there's a thing that you can't drink any alcohol when you drive. It's the, what's the no tolerance. Zero tolerance. No, like not even allowed. Yeah. So well done. That's really, really great. Very inspiring at the same time. I think regardless of the age of the listener, you know, like you are in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, it's so relevant to anywhere you are in life. Okay. So this brings me to the very last question, and whoever is with us still, it's probably one of the longer episodes, which is actually interesting, and it's a good thing, I think, because the conversation is cool. So this became a tradition now, and I ask the guest about their favorite quote and why is their favorite quote, so what it means to you. And why did you pick, in particular, this one?
A healthy man has 1,000 wishes. A sick man has one.
I love that. Boom. You could close the episode now. Clap. Very good. Very powerful.
Yeah. And it's so true. I think it shines the light on what we've discussed before, is that health is not just an area of your life, it's the foundation of everything. If you are healthy, you can do whatever you want. The stars are the limit. But if you're sick, nothing.
You have one problem.
You have one desire to be healthy. And I think the trick is that when you are young, and when you're in the 20s and 30s and you're building your career, you feel invincible, and you're much less likely to pay attention to your health. Although I have to say that I meet a lot of younger people who think differently nowadays, so they do care about their health, so I'm happy to see that. But still, you know, it's the age where we tend to completely burn ourselves out, and those burnout might not be as obvious at that age, and it will come back in 10 years or something. So it doesn't go away. But so this quote for me is the reflection of that absolutely foundational importance of health for anything you do in your life.
Wow, I love it. I really enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much.
Me too.
Not just that we are in this, you know, homey, friendly setting in your own house, but the whole thing. And just one thing to finish with. When we first met, I remember online, we had a Zoom call, and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm gonna meet this high-level top woman, you know, like oh my God, like how will
she's gonna sit in the throne with a crown.
But that's how you envision, and I'm like, oh my God, like, you know, like I am just this, I don't know, whatever person. And trust me, like I felt two things. One, I felt really comfortable, like talking, chatting. I felt so safe. And so you were really good in, you know, creating this like balanced environment. Like you totally didn't give me the this is me and you are that. You know what I mean? It was just in my mind.
Yeah.
And also the way how you were curious about me,
Yeah.
and the way how, I don't know, you were really good in, lifting up and like praising and then like embracing, because I just changed my corporate role
Yeah.
to being a business owner. And I was also a bit like, okay, am I doing this? Like, what's going on? Like, is it really me? But I'm like, I really wanted to believe that it's me, but I was still a bit like questioning. I question it less. I'm very firm now that this is happening. But anyway, the point is that you were like, you gave this openness and curiosity, and then you really did lift me up and made me feel like, you gave me this wow, like this, wow, what, but which I really wanted to believe that it's a wow, but sometimes you're just like, yeah, we just work on it every day and it's hard and we do it. But you gave this, like you celebrated me, I think. You gave me a sense. So I'm very thankful for that. And then I thought, I really like this woman. And then we talked again and I'm like, you know what? I think you should be you could be a good guest on the podcast. So thanks again for accepting.
And you are an absolute rock star. I mean,
thank you. We are.
Girl power,
Oh, totally.
girl power.
Yeah,
so that's one. And the other, that we are on the journey, and the more we can on our own journeys that that intertwine and connect somehow. And I think the more we can lift each other, the better. And trust me when I say that I genuinely admire the way you build yourself up. And I think first time we talked, what was it, 2 years ago maybe or something?
Yeah, something.
Yeah,
like
when you started off, and I'm like, wow. And I said to you at that time that like, your energy is absolutely brilliant. Like I haven't had, and I really needed that, to have somebody with such an energy level, such a positive outlook, and being so authentic. And I said this to you before, and I think that's, I see that, and I really respect that, and I wish I could have more of that energy, and I'm very grateful for our relationship. So
I'm so pleased. Okay, now first time we're gonna do a proper hug in front of the camera, because we did this before, but it was never recorded. So, so thank you. I don't know which camera recorded. Some of the cameras recorded. Great. Okay, but thank you so much. Thank you.